So okay, so this is where we were. If we take a look at the import statement, you saw that the list file now doesn't exist, yeah? You want to change that to places.txt, yeah? So change it to places.txt. No, yeah, both of, and the one above. That one's being commented out, but yeah, the one above as well. If you change that to places.txt. Because what you want to do is you want to delete your original file, and then what we're going to do is we're going to uncomment those, all of those. So uncomment places equals Berlin, yeah, and that one, and the next ones, and the next ones, yeah, and this, yeah. So what's going to happen now is we're going to keep going on, keep doing that, yeah. Not the next line, because that's just a remove line break, that's a comment. So where it says remove line break, that's you want a comment, because yeah. And then places, not the add item to list, because that's another comment. Can you go back and take the add item to list, and where you've got add item to list, put a comment, yeah, because that is a comment. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to run the file and see what happens when you run the file, and see what's in your places dot list. Yeah, because it's actually just a comment. If you go to the top of the line and just put a comment, yeah, just add a comment there. Now if you run that module again, can you see that was a comment? Because right, so what does it say? No such file or directly list file. Well, because you don't have list file, it's called places.file, places.txt, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yes, it's put London instead, hasn't it? So it's not put Cyprus anymore. And can you see why it's done that? So if you move that across, so it's printed it out this time, yeah? Yeah, but do you see if you can follow the run of the program? So at the beginning, you do places, you do Berlin, Cape Town, Sydney, Moscow, yeah? And then you do places.append is Cyprus, right? And then you're writing to places.txt everything there, aren't you? If you change that places.txt to list items.txt, oh, actually, don't worry, because what you're doing next is you're importing OS, you're deleting that file, and you're now making all your places to be London on the end. And then you're rewriting the file. Can you see that? You're opening places.txt again, and you're rewriting the file with Berlin, Cape Town, Sydney, Moscow and London. And then you're reading the file for every one of those and putting it inside an array. So what we're going to do is we're going to comment out, actually go to the top of places there on that line, on the line you were on where it said London, right at the beginning of that line where it says London, yeah, at the beginning of that line, just put comment, and then where it says with open places.text, right, put comment, and then the next one, comment out everything there. Just comment those out, yeah? Comment that out. Have they? Oh gosh, that's going to be good for you, isn't it? I don't know about that. Where is it? Is it Liverpool or is it Arsenal? Not a chance. No, leave that. Leave that places. Leave the places. Leave that places. That's enough now. Okay. So if you remove the import OS as well, because we don't want to delete that file now. So no, don't remove it. I mean, comment it out. Sorry. Undo. Yeah. And then just do a comment. That's it. And the next ones. And the next ones, please. Just comment the next lines, would you? Just comment over the next lines. Yeah. Yeah. And the OS remove, comment that. And the else. And the print. So now we're not going to remove the file, okay? So what do you think it should print out now? Nope. Run it and see what happens. Yeah, it's just printed out Cyprus, hasn't it, this time? Yeah. So the reason it did that is because, can you see in the first bit, you're writing a file with Cyprus in it. Close this one. Yeah, close the, and now run it, because you won't see London at all this time. Yeah? It just does that. Yeah? Can you see that? Do you know why it's doing that? Go to the top of the program. Don't look at the commented lines, just the uncommented lines. So it's setting up a array. It's setting up an array or a list of 4, isn't it? And then it's appending Cyprus to it. Yeah, you remember we did the variables last time, where we did places 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah? So you can see each of those are variables inside the places, can't you? Because if you wanted to print one out, how would you do it? Do it on the next line after places.append. Print out Cyprus. How would you do it? After places.append, up at the top, yeah, where you've got Cyprus, after that line, at the end of that line, go to the next line. Go to the next line, yeah, and do print. And how would you print out Cyprus? Open the bracket, yeah, and then what would you do? How would you print Cyprus? No, not like that. From the array. Would it be 5? No, it's not 5 in brackets. That'll print out 5 in quotes, won't it? How do you do that? How do you call that variable? What's it called? What's that variable called? Above it, what's the variable called? Places. So put places. Don't put it in quotes, because it's not a comment, is it? Yeah? And how do you print out the last one? Okay, so run that and see what you get. Now you've got all of them, but you just want Cyprus. So how are you going to print out just Cyprus? How would you print out Berlin? No, that's going to append something. You don't want to append it, do you? So how are you going to do it? Okay, so do it. How are you going to do 5? No, it's not 5, is it? What does it? How does it denote that it's got something inside it? Look at the array. What has it got in front of it? No. Look at what it's got in front of it. Look at places equals. What's the next thing? Yeah, but what's before Berlin? Yeah, so open the bracket. Do you remember? But not in the quotes. Because a quote is a comment. Remember, a quote is a comment. If you want to say something in text, you put in a comment, yeah? So now try that. It won't work. What does it say? No. So why is it out of range when you put 5? No. Goes from 0 to 4. Because that's 5, isn't it? Remember we had places 1 to whatever. So 0 should be what? Go on, put 0 in. Go on then, put it in and see if it is Berlin. Yeah, it is. Yeah? Do you see how it's done? What would have happened if you put quotes 5? Go on. Would have broken down. Wouldn't have understood what you're talking about. Yeah? Go on then, take that one away. Yeah? So it's the 4th item in the places is Cyprus. Yeah? Okay, good. Now then, you know you've got that in there. You're going to write a file now with all those places in it. What's it called, that file? Right, go and have a look on your computer, see if you've got places.txt on there. Yeah. What's it got in it? Right, okay, so you remember that now, yeah? Okay, so what we're going to do in the second part of it, yeah? So you could comment out the first part if you wanted. Comment out the first part. So comment out places equals Berlin, Cape Town, Sydney, Moscow, Cyprus. Yeah, at the beginning of the thing, just comment everything out. Comment all of the stuff out now. Yeah, comment it all out. And the file handle close. It's alright. Just leave it where it was. And then the file handle close is the last one. No, it was fine where it was. Okay, doesn't matter. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Now run the file. How's it getting that? Yeah, all of it's commented out, so how's it reading the places? Yeah, so what's it doing? From places dot, which is the file. Yeah? So it's opening the file for read and for saying for each line in that file, yeah, okay, give me the current place -1, i.e. it's removing the line break from it, yeah, and then it's saying places.append the current place, so it could be Berlin, then it would append Cape Town, then it would append Sydney, then it would append Moscow, yeah, then it would append Cyprus, and then can you see it's printing places right at the bottom? What does places equals bracket close bracket mean, where your cursor is? What are you doing there? Yeah, what are you doing there? Do you remember? No. You're initializing that variable to have an empty list. Because initially you want an empty list, don't you? You don't want anything in your list, do you, before you read stuff into it? Do you get me? Do you understand that now? So write another program. Yeah? So open another file. Open a needle file. So close that. Close, cancel, and do file, new. Right, move it across so you've got something to go on. And I want to say, right, so open another one. Okay, you've already got it there. Yeah, just move it across from the top of it. Move it across the screen by dragging it across. That's it, that's lovely. Now then, I want you to create an array, okay, that has places in it. So first of all, create an array with places in it. Okay, and I want you to put all the football stadiums. Yeah, well, just put a few of them that you know. Yeah? That's it. Yeah. You just want to beat us at home, don't you? Yeah, so I know. Very good. Is it not called White Hart Lane anymore? Is it not on White Hart Lane? Yeah, just call it White Hart Lane. It's a big mouthful, that is. Alright, now close the bracket. Yeah, let's call it White Hart Lane. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, look at the end of that array. Have you have you managed to close the box? No, you haven't. Put a close bracket. Put a close, yeah. You could have put St James's Park as well, but it's alright. Now I'd like you to append St James's Park to that. Yeah? Actually starts pre-season. What I'd like you to do is I would like you to insert. So places dot insert. So on the next line, I'd like you to insert an open bracket. It's 2 or 1. You can put 1. No, it's a square. It's not a square bracket. It's when you've got a function, it's like the append. It's a round bracket, yeah? So you want to insert in position 2, but you don't want position 2. You've put a comma after it to donate a second parameter. No, where you've got insert 2, just after the 2 needs a comma. And there, if you can put St James's Park, or you could put 1 in St James's Park. Do you know who's that is, don't you? Yeah, Newcastle, yeah. Yeah, because they've got money now, haven't they? Yeah. Okay, that's it. Next line. Would you like to who would I pick for the England squad? It was very difficult. Right, what we need to do in this one, it's very difficult because there's too many good players, isn't there now? You got kind of lost for thoughts, really. Who would you pick? Uh-huh. Is Saka English? Okay. Okay, fair enough. So if you print that now, just print the whole thing out. So print places. Yeah. Do print. How about Luke Shaw? Okay. Yeah, he is good. Go on then. Put print places. That's it. Now see what happens when you run it. Save it as something. Say there's my try. Okay, save it in documents or downloads. Save it as my try, yeah? Yeah, do Python files, because it's Python, isn't it? And then just put whatever you want. Just put whatever file name you want, yeah? Just put arrays. Put arrays. Arrays.py. That's it. So what happened? Okay, but where did Goodison Park go and where did St James's Park go? It inserted it, didn't it? Yeah? Can you see that? And Goodison Park came at the end. Yeah? Good. So now I want you to write all of those to a file. Do you think you could do that? Given that you've got all that stuff on the other side. Now how would you write it to a file? Yeah, so go on then. So on the next line, and you could put a comment, couldn't you? You could have put a comment and say what you're going to do. So put a comment and say, I'm going to open a file and write a list of football stadiums into it. Yeah? How do you mean? It stopped there. That stopped it. You'd have to go on to the next line, because can you see it's all in red? Yeah? So if you go to the next line, return, and if you wanted to write a piece of code, then you would write it. If you want to write another comment, then you would put a hash. So if you said x on the next line, x equals 2, what would that do? Or what would it do? Print x. Print x. Go on, print x on the next line. Can you see when you do the brackets you're actually doing a function? Go on then, run it. What happens? Yeah? It prints the contents of x, doesn't it? Yeah? So you could say print and open brackets quote, put a quote, the contents of x, of the variable x, of the variable x. Are, and now put a space, and then after the quote, because after the quote, no, just leave the space, yeah, excellent, and then put x after the comma, and then space, and then x, yeah, and now run it. Do you see? So what you're doing is you're creating a variable x, aren't you? It's not very descriptive, is it? Yeah? So if you were adding two numbers, you would say number 1 equals 2, wouldn't you? Do you see how there's different types of variables? So the first one, you've got places equals Old Trafford, Anfield, Emirates, yeah? And when you do places as one thing, you can print out the whole of it. If you want to do individual bits of places, how do you do it? Say I wanted to print out the Emirates. How would I do it? Go on then. Print it out. Go on. Not that one. Yeah, that's right. Try 4 then. Well, try it. It would be 3, yes. Why would it be 3? Well done. Excellent. Well done. Brilliant. Yeah? So, do you see how places has got many different variables in it? Yeah? And that's what a list is. That's what an array is. Yeah? A list is actually different to an array. Do you know why? Shall I tell you? Okay, a list can have different types in it. So, do you see Old Trafford is a string? And x equals 2, where 2 is a number? Yeah, because we could have said x equals quotes 2, couldn't we? Yeah? So we could have enclosed quotes around the 2. And this is what I was showing you before. Go back to your program. Yeah? So this is what I was showing you before. If you put y equals 3 after x equals 2, put y equals 3 after x equals 2, yeah, somewhere there. Y equals 3. No, on the next line, yeah. Yeah? So you got 2 variables, x and y. Now I want you to add them. Add them. Yeah. X plus y. Just put x plus y. Right, now you've got to go the line before that, because that's just printing x. Nope. Well, you could do, I suppose. But you wouldn't do it on that line, would you? Would you? I don't think so. Take that out. You would do sum on the previous line. How you do it in maths? How would you do it? Sum equals x plus y. Yeah? Does that make sense? Why hasn't it put 5? Yeah, because that's what you've asked it to do. Because you've just put a comment, haven't you? And that's a comment as well. Yeah. So we'll just print sum. That's better. But now you've got to say what that sum is, haven't you? So you need a comment, and then a comma, and then and then the actual variable, don't you? Do you see it? So do print the sum of x and y is. So go on. How are you going to do that? The sum of x and y is, you don't want to put 5, do you? You want the answer. Yeah, so after, no, but if you put it in there, okay, do that. Put it in there. Put it in there. Let's see what happens. Now run it. So everything in the green is printed out. Right, so you want a comma and you want to actually put sum, don't you? That's better. Do you get me? Do you understand that now? Good. So if we said x equals 2 in quotes, now that's a string, isn't it? So go and put 2 in quotes. Go put 2 in quotes. X equals 2, but make it in quotes. Put it in quotes now. So it's no longer a number, it's a string. Can you see that? Before you do that, put the 3 in quotes as well. That's it. So they're both strings now. Now run it. What's it done? Yeah, but it's added the strings together. Yeah? So if I said add x and y, it would say x and y. Yeah? If both were strings, yeah? So if you put x equals x. Now take the quotes off, yeah? Because we don't want that, do we? Yeah? So take the quotes out. Now, on the next line, yeah? On the next line, yeah? Go on, put on the next line. Yeah, put if. Yeah? Oh no, actually, you want that after the sum. Go on, put it after the sum. Put if, open brackets, sum equals 5, close brackets, and put a colon. And then tab print in. Tab print in. Yeah? And now change x. Okay, run it as it is first. Yeah? Now if you change x to be 3, change x to be 3. Now run it. Will it happen? Why not? Excellent. So it's not going to print it out, is it? Yeah? Now do the else. Do the else. Else. That means you're assigning it. It will give you a syntax error. Because what are you saying? You're saying that whatever's net on the other side is equal to that sum. Well, it's not, is it? You can't say that, can you? Because it's a boolean that you're doing. Do you see that? Yeah? Okay, so now it would print it out because that statement is true. If you wanted to print out the alternative, so say it was 5, yeah? So put 3x equals 2 again. Put x equals 2 again. And now put an else after the if, on the same level as the if. Do you remember how to do that? No, leave that, make that 6. And now go and put an else after the, on the, yeah, but you want a print inside the else, don't you? Inside the if, don't you? So copy that statement and put it inside the if. Copy the print. Copy it. And then put it inside the if. After the if, sorry, no. After that colon. That's it, paste. Right? Now, you want to say else, you want a colon, and, well done, and then you want to go the sum of x and y is, but is not equal to 6. So put in is sum, and then put a comma after sum, and then quotes, but is not equal to 6. Yeah, that's it. Now run it. Got it? So it will go down the else. Yeah? Now, what I would like you to do is I would like you to write out your places to a file. So all those football grounds, I want them to go into a file. See if you can look across and copy that and do the right one. And then I want you to read them back in to a list and print them out again. Okay? Go on then. You need to print them out to a file first. So print all of those places into a file. No, you don't need to get rid of them. You just need to get rid of the x equals 2, yeah? So from the x equals 2, just get rid of that. And the next lines as well, because we're not doing that, are we? That was just to show you that. No, that bit's fine. That bit was good. Just put a G. That's it. That's fine. That's it. Now get rid of the y equals 3. Yeah, all of that. So I'm going to write to a file. Write my places to a file. So what's the first thing you need to do? Is what? What are you going to do to write to a file? Look across. Yeah, you would do a write. Very good. So with open places.txt, write as file handle. So you can copy that. No, don't copy it. Write it down yourself. Write it down yourself, but copy it. Yeah. See, with is a keyword, yeah? Open is a function. So you're opening a file called what? Places.txt, yeah? Yeah? And you're going to write to it. So comma, and you're going to write to it, aren't you? So the command is write, and you're going to close the brackets because that's all that's in there, and then you're going to say that is the file handle. That is the name of the file, yeah, as file handle. So space, no, on the other side, space, and then as file handle, and that as is the keyword as well, yeah. Good. So then that has got to have a colon after it because it's an orange. Not there at the end of file handle. The end of the line has to have a, because it starts with a with, doesn't it? And then you're going to do a for, because you want to loop around your array, don't you? No, for is fine because it's a loop for every list item. So you're just going to put list item. Take every out. You don't need every. For list item in places, because that's what you've called your array, haven't you? Yeah? Okay, for list item in places, colon, and you colon, yeah, and go to the next line. So now you're running around in a loop, yeah? You're going to do file handle, and you're going to write to whatever's in your file handle, aren't you? Dot write. And then you're going to open a bracket because it's a function. And open a quote. This is the formatting. So it's a string S with a %S. And we'll do formatting later, but for now just put a string S like they've got. And a /n. No, the other way. The slash is the other way. No. Okay, that's fine, but your slash is the other way. It's the wrong way round, your slash. Yeah. It wouldn't work because it's not a new line, is it? Yeah, /n is a new line. And then do a space. And then do a % inside the bracket. So you, yeah, do a %, space %, and then space list item. Yeah, that's still one thing, isn't it? Yeah, you can put list item, you can take the space out of and put it next to the %. I think that's right, but I don't know. But go to the next line after the bracket, and now you want it to be in line with the width because you're going to close the file once it's finished writing. So file handle, dot close, and close the bracket, open bracket and close bracket because it's a function again. Yeah, and now run that, would you? Okay, so it's done that. Now go see if you've got a file. And there, do you have places? But we don't have it in that format, do we? Try take the percent and put it separately then. Maybe that's what it was. Run module. Okay. Now try and open it. It's in downloads. That's better. Yeah? So it's got all your things inside that file. Well done. Is that good? Good. Yeah, you're making a file because sometimes, right, when you switch off your computer, right, so say you're writing a program. When you finish with your program, everything you have in your program has gone. Everything you've stored in your program is gone, right? Do you understand that? It's like when you turn off your computer and you've closed Internet Explorer down and all the tabs, they've gone, haven't they? So you can't save things, can you? Say you had a Word document open and you closed it off, it would have to be recovered, wouldn't it? You couldn't, if you hadn't saved it to the file, you wouldn't have it, because it would only be in memory. Yeah? Please click the like button below if you've liked the video, and if you'd like to become a patron member, then you can join using the link below. We will be giving discounts on books and learning aids to thank our patrons later on. Thank you.